Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is some train simulator today. Good morning engineer, let the passengers on board before you depart for West Norwalk. Okie dokie. Let's do this, shall we? So we're doing a relatively short run today. It's about 30 minutes long. Let's just get set up here while we wait. Lights. So here we are, this is where we are. Over here, we're driving all the way down to here. So that's our route. Apparently it's going to take 30 minutes. We're going to get going. It looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day for us today. Hopefully going to see some nice scenery out here in San Francisco. So let's get started. I haven't driven this scenario before. Looked like the most promising one for some nice scenery and to keep the time relatively short. A few things to talk about on the way, so stay tuned for that. But let's just get this powered up. Trying to keep the ammeter here, I'm trying to keep that in the green zone. I think that's better than putting it in the red. And this is our train. We've got these double-decked carriages here, all American style, so I don't know that much about it, but I thought it'd be an interesting run to do. If we look in the back here, you can see this has also got a driving cab, which is quite cool. Although we won't be using this today. We will just be over here in the locomotive at the front. This is a career scenario. This is a career scenario, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try and not lose any points. So we pull out of this main station here. I don't know, it seems to be very slow acceleration if you don't go into the red. I will also point out I'm no expert at these American signals, so that might be the first place for it to go drastically wrong. We have got a bell. There we go, we're losing points. We turn the bell off. That's a noise, isn't it? Here we go, we lost 32 points already for being slightly over the speed limit. I would say that's pretty ridiculous. Again, we're getting the same thing again. I don't think it changes depending on how fast you're going. I would expect that if you're just slightly over the limit, you might lose a few points. But then, if you're maybe 10 over the limit, you might lose a bit more. But the game isn't clever enough for that. Let's knock this back up again. Let's get some speed going. We'll be clear to 35 miles an hour. Flange noise going around this tight bend. Careful here, I don't want to start speeding again. I would prefer to end this scenario with some points. Now we look around, it all appears to be quite industrial land over here at the moment. And that'll be the main city over there. We're kind of on the edge of it. Slowly making our way out of the city. We're about to get cleared up to 79 miles an hour. Don't ask why they couldn't have just made that, I don't know, 80 perhaps? Unless that's lost in the conversion. A conversion thing between miles an hour and kilometers an hour. Although no, that's wrong, they actually use miles an hour here. If you look up on the speedometer here, it actually says miles an hour. So I don't know why this is 79 as opposed to 80. Would have thought 80 would be a simpler number. Power. We need to go. It'll be interesting to see. Will we see any other more trains today? Will we see other trains? Or will we not? We have got a few stops. We've got passengers here. Where's that? 14 miles away. Our final destination is 23 miles away. So we've got a good bit of just simple running first. Although we are going to have to slow down soon to 44 for what appears to be a speed bump. And there's a bit of lag there as we jump over onto the next tile. Bit of awful coding there from Dovetail Games. Just being careful because I don't quite know the capabilities of the brakes on this train yet. I don't really want to lose more points as we head into this speed limit. Here we go, here's another train coming down here. There we are, it looks identical to ours. And that one will be driven from the push-pull cab in the back that we were looking at earlier, this one. Now, this is a rather impressive flyover actually. Some of these pylons with no wires on them. Carefully down the slope. Let's hope we don't start speeding too much. Anyway. Hopefully we will be able to use more speed soon. There we go, 79 again coming up over there. This isn't actually a bad sounding train actually. The engine in this locomotive actually sounds quite nice, especially when you start ramping it up. No speeding. So one of the things that I was going to mention was a change in the upload times. I might have mentioned this before actually, but I'm going to be doing uploads on Fridays now as opposed to Saturdays. Because when I started doing the schedule, it was more of an experiment to see what would work well for me. And Fridays is a lot easier to stick to. So Fridays is the upload day. Look at this. crosses right over there. Fridays is now the upload day for the main weekly uploads. Other videos are generally going to be coming out, sort of edited videos, or I don't know, special videos, I guess, will be coming out as and when I make them. Now, before I was going to try and make the OMSI videos or review videos or something every 2 weeks, and that didn't work out because they would actually take longer to make. They actually do take quite a long time to make, and the last reason being that I prefer to make them on something that's actually happening, so I prefer to make them as something comes out and cover something new, as opposed to covering something old that people already know about. These lorries look tiny, but then these trains are massive in America. Right, we can go up to 79 now. So that's the upload plan, basically. Those videos will come out as and when I make them, and basically that will basically be when stuff is released. I basically failed at trying to upload those the bi-weekly review videos on time because they just took so much longer to make. And by not having a schedule, it means I can take as long as I like to make them and have better quality videos at the end of the day. So there we go. Hopefully there will be some interesting stuff to come out, coming out soon to review. We've got a few OMSI add-ons coming out, such as London, which I'm not sure if I will look into. I might look into that. But we've also got some tram stuff coming out soon, which I'm very, very interested in. That is going to be very good to see. There is the Project Gladbeck one, which I'm not so interested in. But generally speaking, the tram stuff does interest me, so might be taking a look at that. The engine noise just seems to cut off at that point. But listen outside. Still running. Inside? Silence. I wonder what that is. Dovetail Games. Best efforts at locomotive scripting, I guess. Ultra realism. Anyway, yes, so there's quite a few new OMSI add-ons coming out soon, which are going to be quite cool and quite interesting. Now, how far away? We're 9 miles away from West Norwalk 2. Although our ETA is kind of in check, though it looks like we might be there about a minute late at the moment, so we're going to try and keep up with the speed much as we can, keep up and get there on time. That is without speeding, so there we go. This was a relatively difficult scenario. It was on a few bars of red, I think, as sort of the indication of it being a hard one. So many yards around here, isn't there? And yet there's so little in them. Station. Wow. Yeah, it's actually amazing how large the American train were. It's also amazing how empty these yards are. Now, interestingly, the what would be the AWS if it was a Great British loco, the alarm symbol keeps on coming up, but I don't hear any sound. I just see it there, highlighted, and I have to keep pressing it. I don't know what that is. And I mean, I can't see it, and I can see it, but I can't hear an alarm. I'm hoping that I don't get the train brakes coming on and having to do an emergency stop and starting from nothing again, which would completely knock the timetable out. We wouldn't complete this scenario on time. Thinking it's struggling to get to 79, this loco. Oh we need to start slowing down for this, the 65 limit here. There we go, made it. Is that water over there? Yes, it is. Thought it might be the sea, but no, it's just an industrial pond of some kind. Good news is our ETA is actually coming down. We're looking at 36 minutes? 36 seconds late now, arriving in our destination. Now, there's no point in speeding up here, we've got to slow down to 50. Lag. Brakes. There we go. Too much brakes, as it turns out. Power. Let's try and keep this as close to the speed limit as we can, so that we can hopefully bring down the ETA as much as possible. Get a brief period of 60 over here before it's back down to 50. And let's get what we can out of it. And see, there we go, the engine just seems to cut off, but let's go outside. Still hear it. It's almost as if they forgot to put a sound in the game. See, we go down to 50, then 70, which suggests we are, to me, that we're crossing over the tracks here. Onto the left-hand side, perhaps. No? Maybe not. Maybe we just have to slow down briefly. Oh yeah, we have to do this, don't we? In America, they always sound the horn before they go over the level crossings, and the bell. Completely forgot. So there we go, you can hear the bell if we go outside. Lots of American trucks parked out here. Anyone want to, anyone would it English words, can't do it today. Would anyone like to see an American truck video? Because perhaps that's something I could do. Alright, power up again. Sounding the horn like a good locomotive driver. What do they call them, engineers in America? I think they call them engineers. As you can tell, I'm not really clued up on this American thing. Really not my scene, to be honest, but they are. I do kind of find that the size of the locomotives is really quite interesting. I mean, it's amazing how large these things are, these pieces of machinery, and how powerful they are. Especially when you see them. I mean, not with trains like this, short trains, but with the really long trains. Sometimes like mile-long trains, double, two-layer containers and so on, container carriages and so on. It's pretty amazing to think of the raw power that these things actually have. Anyway, I'm aware that we are stopping soon. Ooh, look at this, it's a green field. It must be amazing to see that. So we're stopping soon, and we've got a 40 limit coming up in a mile and a bit. Well, that must be a switching over to a platform, I would guess. So we'll have to start braking soon. Is this a train in the distance? I think it is. Bright headlight on the front, I will say. And going slow too. Oop, level crossing. Sorry, move the mouse out of the way. Okay, we are in check with time. Looking good for a successful first stop here, so long as I don't overshoot it, that is. We've got a yellow signal, which I presume is relatively similar to a yellow or an amber signal in the UK. Hoping it is. That one's green there, okay. Here we go, 40. And we're switching over onto the right here. Oh, there is an interior view. Excellent. Wasn't sure if there was. That looks like we're on the bottom level here. No, we're on the top. Pull in nice gently. Platform was only just long enough, isn't it? Well, it's very different to the UK, and in fact all European countries. The size of these, you're actually looking down on the passengers. Bring it to a slow and steady halt. And doors. There we go. Look at the size of this thing. Absolutely massive here. Oh wow, the textures in here are just like amazing, right? Let's go for a walk. So that is the view from the top. Like, you must get a good view in these as well. And then, do we have a bottom view? No. There we go, great timeliness bonus. Plus 250. Let's go, shall we? Oh, come on. There we go, we're moving. Power her up, and we're away. Ooh, flange noise. Now these basically double-deck railway carriages is actually a really good idea, because you effectively have a train twice as long as this in these, well, how many carriages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carriages. Something that was really good in the UK, because over here the rail networks are so crowded, basically. They were built back in the Victorian era, and a lot of the time there isn't space to build more railways. The problem is loading gauge, which is basically determines the size of something, how big it can be. The loading gauge determines, well, how big something can be, and these would just be too big, which is why we don't have any of those. The bridges are too low down and too narrow as well. Some other European countries do have these. But that's because their loading gauge will actually accommodate it. I spy another train over there on the horizon. Well, maybe not the horizon. That'll be the mountains, but there's another train coming. Well, that's a different style. Look at that one. That one looks more modern, doesn't it? Something I've noticed is the outside sign. Really, I can't even talk today. Sorry. The outside sounds are moving into the... They're still playing on the inside. Quite often. It's not doing it anymore, but they were, so yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we're due to arrive at Bjorna Park soon. Only 3 miles this one. And then over to the finish, it is only 6.9 miles. Nearly 7. So the longest hop of this line was the first hop. Does the window open? Does anything open in here? Okay, we've got a blind. Guess that's kind of useful. What else do we have? We've got cab light. Cab light. These controls work. Nope. Yeah, you can't expect much else to work. What's that? Bell, horn, sander, the alerter, which is what keeps on going off and they can't hear it. Wipers. Ooh, that's kind of hypnotic. And we've got headlights, and that's about it in here. Not much else going on. Anyway, we need to start slowing down. I'm getting distracted and I'm going to run past the station if I don't look out. And if we run past the station, I lose 250 points. So much lag. I really wish that it didn't load, you know, one tile. Basically what happened at a time, basically what happens is you cross over the border onto the next tile, and the next tile in front, it will suddenly load that. Like, it won't do it gradually, it will just do it all in one, straight away. Which causes that big lag spike, because suddenly your CPU is overloaded. It's not been overloaded for a while, it's just been sitting there, happily playing away on this tile. On the tiles that are loaded, and then suddenly it's asked, go load all this all in 1 second as fast as you can, and that's what causes, you know, a big spike in the CPU usage, and all of a sudden you've just got a frame rate drop. You probably knew that already, but yeah, that, for anyone who's unaware, that's why that happens in Train Sim. So there we go again. It loads, I don't know if it's one tile in front or a few tiles in front, but it will load them in front. Or around you, I guess it is actually, around you. And this is the station. See, I was blabbing away, completely forgot that was here. Ooh, stop, 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 stop. Emergency. No. No. Stop. Wait. Okay, we might get some of this on. Right. Okay. See, that's what happens. I just start talking and then suddenly... Listen to the sounds. What is it? That's just odd. Yeah, I just start talking and then I just ignore what's going on. Let's take the parking brakes off. Reset that. So yeah, there we go. Timeliness penalty, plus 219. I like how it's a penalty and you're actually still getting points. Right, we did not get 250 that time, which is annoying. And that's because we were slightly late. And it looks like it's going to be the case for the next stop by about a minute as well. So, we've got 3.8 miles. We're going to have to absolutely floor it and get there in time. But do you see that? That car there actually overtook the other one. I've never seen that in a train simulated road before. I did not think they could do that. I thought they just followed a straight path. That's actually amazing. I've never seen it do that before. It's funny not hearing the engine sound as well. It's like we're just being carried forward by a force of magic. Oh, someone's crashed into us from behind. So we've seen all these industrial areas, but the interesting thing is we have not seen a single freight train, have we? What we have seen though is loads and loads and loads of these lorries and so on, and distribution centres at the side. Which makes you think that the railway here is not doing so well for itself. Because I know a large proportion of freight in the US is actually carried by railway. So, where is that? I've seen a lot more passengers than I have seen freight because I've not seen any freight at all. And I know there's a lot less of the passenger so on in the US as well, so yeah, I don't know. Over in Europe it appears to be that, you know, passenger is the primary sort of cargo over freight, whereas in the US that the freight is the primary cargo, so it's a difference, I guess. I did watch a very good video about it actually, and it was basically down to the fact that the distances between the cities are so large that it makes more sense to fly, and that it is actually more expensive to take the train rather than fly. So that's why the railways are not so good in the US. At least that's what this person was saying, anyway. Try and hold our speed here. We have got an uphill bit of line here up to our final station. Floor it for a bit more, try and get some more speed up. Really don't want to be late here. The ETA is actually still going up, so we're going to have to see what happens. I don't want to fail the scenario. That's the thing. It'd be nice to get a silver badge, but I don't know what the cut-off is for that. Right, we have to start slowing it down now. I thought we might be going right into that one there, but no. I think we just go straight on. Yep, and there's our platform. And that'll be the end of this line. Well, the end of the route. The line keeps on going. These are nice palm trees. Palm trains? Palm trees here. What is a palm train? What am I going on about? Long platform actually here compared to the others. Oh, come on. Don't stop just yet. And stop. Oh, emergency brake setting, -2 points. Whoops. There we go. Doors open. We are here. I don't know why are you getting on? Don't get on. No, don't get on. Great work today, engineer. See, they are called engineers. All passengers are on board and you've completed all of today's instructions. Yeah, I don't know why the passengers are still on board because we're not going anywhere. But anyway, there we go. That was Train Simulator. Let's have a little look at this. There we go, we got a silver star. 862 experience points gained. 3,117 XP total. You can tell I don't play a lot of these scenarios. Oh, look at all these. I did so bad. How many did we lose? It doesn't actually give you many useful statistics. It just says -1. Be useful if I added them all up. But there we go. Thank you for watching. This was Train Simulator. What was that? I will see you in the next one. Perhaps if you want some more Train Simulator, you can let me know. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.